you're going to find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races. Only
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I'm just going to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
And I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Oh, Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Barani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go? Werrell, don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's just like dropping. That's on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race 2.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's all about the entertainment, so I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Triple Bypass Driver Appreciation 95 from Michigan, sponsored by the guys at Triple Bypass Racing. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by my partner in crime, as he normally is on these late nights, one Mr. Bradley Dalton. We've got 95 laps of Michigan, this 2 mile circuit. 1 fast repair, 3 tyre changes, lucky dogs and waiver rounds are on. Brad Crest has the championship locked up, and this is the first triple, that's his first triple bypass champion as well. So we're going to have a look at the points the current points for this series as well. And as you can see, Brad Crest is out and won on 459 points. The interesting thing about that, Chet Bear won 6 times and hasn't won the championship, but Brad Caress has won once and won the championship. Let's bring Brad into the booth and we'll have a quick discussion about that. Brad, kind of unprecedented. Somebody wins 6 times and doesn't win the championship. Somebody wins once and does win the championship.
Yeah, I'm not Brad Crest, but good evening, everybody.
Oh, yes, sorry, Brad Dalton. There you go. Welcome in, Brad.
Yeah, you're good. But, yeah, looking at it, you know, Brad Crest, I think the big thing that sticks out to me looking at this scoreboard is he's been here for all the races. And he's been consistent. While Chad Bear has 6 wins, he's only been here for 8 races. So that's a lot of points he's left on the table. And if you look at Brad Crest, it's 1 win, 9 top 5s, and he's never finished outside of the top 10. So he's always getting big points every week that he runs. So he's been nice and consistent and settled things in. We still got some battles down the scores to figure out, like Mr. JC John Campbell, Krispy Kreme himself, and Al Corey. They're tied in points. You've got a very, very close points battle in P6, 7, 8. And so there's still some points to figure out through. But, yeah, no, Chad Bear, 6 wins, but only 8 races here. I'd like to think if he had been for at least 1 or 2 more races, he probably would have had this wrapped up.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, I think, on that one. You know what I mean? I think Chad, as we know, is insanely quick, right? He is insurmountably quick. In fact, he's scarily quick. I've God help anybody, you know, I found that out the other day. But I think, as you say, if he'd have been here for every race, so he only lost 2 races as such, technically, and he won the other 6, I think he would have been up there as well. But it just goes to show that when you are racing in a league like Brad Crest, as long as you turn up, as long as you're consistent, as long as you finish, then generally, like he has done, he has won the championship. So, you know, fair play to him on that one. Don't forget, guys, if you want to get yourself involved, head over to triplebypassracing.com. 5 nights of racing. Sunday Gen4, Tuesday SRX, Wednesdays road racing, Thursdays Xfinity, and Fridays is GTP GT3. The 14 races and championship trophies. Sessions open at 8:15 Eastern, qualified at 9 o'clock Eastern. Guaranteed heartbreaking racing. And as always, this is sponsored by the guys at Triple Bypass Racing here as well. And a big shout out to all of them, the admins once again. So we've got Al Corey, John Crutchley, John Barton, I believe, Matt Perezzini is also an admin. I'm trying to check who else is an admin. Sid Kashishian, Will Jester, John Barton, Jason Benson, James Lawson, Brian Cooper, and Dustin Barton, I believe, are all the admins in the league, or league admins within this league as well. So much love to them. So a big shout out to them guys for sponsoring this evening's event. So that's going to be a interesting one for this evening, I'm sure. 95 laps, Brad, around Michigan. Should be fairly straightforward, right?
Yeah, and it's season finale, and so, you know, you hit this weird double-edged sword where there's still plenty of things in the championship to figure out. So some of these guys are going to drive more aggressive than others. Like, for example, Mr. JC here, as we ride on board with him, he's going to be driving pretty hard because he wants to secure that P4 with no questions asked. And Michigan is a track that I don't want to say it's easy because these Gen 4 cars make nothing easy, but it's a track that is going to be fun as long as you don't slide it out of the exit of 2 there. And then we go down this backstretch, and then we're going to come around here through 3, and you kind of just ride on board and go around and hang out for a second and keep it going nice and smooth. And then you're going to come out here You really don't get a front stretch though, because it's just like a nice 3 into 4 into 1 into 2 long turn. You're just always holding a little bit of turn, so that right front tire is really going to be what takes a beating here across the race tonight.
Are we thinking it's full speed? Do we think it's a full speed race circuit?
I don't think so. I think you're having to lift and give it a little something here. And you can see with JC, he is lifting a bit here to rotate around. He's really driving the car with the throttle more than anything, it sounds like, and it looks like. And then as he comes around here on the front stretch, they're going to try to take this as straight as possible. And I don't like that. But if iRacing lets you do it, you give a driver an inch, they're going to take a mile. And then you come into one, he's going to be lifting a little bit here and trying to send the car around. So we'll see how things work for him as it goes. JC with a pretty decent time, I thought, but currently showing P14. Chad Bear with a 38-second lap.
Yeah, absolutely flying at the moment. Brad Cress in second, Sean Bradley third, Mark Herzog, Matt Perezzini, Al Corey, John Creedler, Ryan Hyatt here as well. Derek Forrest is still here. Oliver Turan is out on the race circuit as well. So is Sid Kashishin, Mike Weeder, Angel Resendez, that's the one, in 17th. Thank you very much for that one. And Matt Perezzini and Mark Herzog. So, yeah, action. Welcome in, Wizard. Thank you for... No, it's Werrod. Thank you for joining us here as well. Over or under yellows, I say 3. I've put 1, Brad. How many yellows do you reckon?
I'm saying 2. I'm going to go with 2 because watching these drivers struggle to hit that exit at turn 2, it's going to be at least 2.
At least 2, says Brad. So I've got 1, Brad's got 2, you've got 3. You know what I mean? We'll split the difference between us. Just waiting for qualifying to come to the end. They've got about a minute left on the clock here, guys, as well. And we've got 25 drivers here. Absolutely amazing. Ward Fisher in his traditional red painted machine, just all red with stickers on the side of it here as well as he's going around on this race circuit. I think the interesting thing about this race circuit is 2 miles, 18-degree banking in the curve, 12 degrees banking on the start-finish straight, and 5-degree banking on the back straight. So it's a very multiple banking racetrack, isn't it? It's not like 24 degrees all the way around or 15 degrees all the way around. You know, we've got a great big difference between 18, 12, and 5 here.
Yeah, it's a big difference. You're really getting no rest this entire run. And look at the track map in the top right. Look at the entrance to turn 3 compared to the entrance to turn 1. It's very interesting to me the way the track shapes into turn 3. It's not a smooth curve. It's a very off curve, and you can see it especially in this overhead shot. Turn 3 there on the right hand side. It's a very weird entrance angle, and yeah, you get no peace and no rest at all. But yeah, qualifying's over here, James, and we'll see how things go.
Yeah, Chad Bear is your pole man with Brad Cress in second, Sean Bradley third, Mark Herzog fourth, Matt Perezzini in fifth, Al Corey sixth, with John Creedler in seventh, Ryan Hyatt in 8th. Then you've got Greg Pillar in 9th, Cameron Kane in 10th, Matt Harmon 11th, and Mike Weeder down in 12th. There you're Jason Benson, Sid Kashishian, John Campbell, Oliver Turan, Angel Resendez, Tex Nichols, Ward Fisher, Casey Ellis, rounding out the top 20. Then Derek Forrest, Carl St. Jean, Chris Melton, and John Crutchley down 24th, and then Brian Cooper rounding off the 25 cars here as well. So stay tuned, grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, get ready to be settled in, and it's going to be an absolutely stellar race here as well. I want to give Casey Ellis a shout out as well. Casey is currently running the 1991 JD McDuffie Pontiac All for the One Win series car livery here as well. JD unfortunately passed away, I believe it was 30 years ago on August 11th, 1991. He was involved in an incident at Watkins Glen on the 5th lap of the 1991 Budweiser at the Glen race at Watkins International. On the straight between the S's, turn 2, 3 and 4, and the loop chute, which is turn 5, at 117 miles an hour. McDuffie collided with Jimmy Means after suffering a mechanical failure. So a big shout out to Casey Ellis there for running that livery. Great job from him. And much love and obviously thoughts out to JD McDuffie, who died 30 years ago today. Well, the day for America, yesterday for me in wonderful world, of course. So there you go, Brad.
Yeah, I'm going to correct your math. 33 years if it was 1991, but it's also very early for you, James, so I'll give you a little bit of credit there on your math as it goes.
Yes. Oh, God, it was, wasn't it? In 2024, I'm losing my marbles. Yeah, 33 years.
It's okay. The years stopped counting after 2019, so I'm going to hold nothing against you there. I get confused half the time myself, so I can't say anything. We're on the formation lap. It's going to be one formation lap, and then we go. And my hope is that this does not repeat last Sunday, and they make it through at least turn 1 and turn 2. Of course, last week, if you weren't here, they didn't even make it down the front stretch before the first caution was thrown. And really, I think that was a fluke. I think that was just a case of we hadn't broadcasted a minute jitters, and everybody just sort of panicked.
Yeah, Ward Fisher's not out of the pit lane yet. A little bit worrying, as these guys are coming out of turn 3 and into turn 4. So we'll see how they get on, and once again, it's going to be up and running here as well. 95 laps of running at Michigan. You can see all the cars gathering up. Ward Fisher's going to go a lap down, and he hasn't even got out of the pit lane yet as well. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are green here for the Driver Appreciation 95, sponsored by the Triple Broadcast admins, of course. And Chad Bear, Brad Cress settling 2 wide, one behind each other. We're going to likely to see a double line here, Brad. I'm a bit confused on what I'm going to see. I've not really done much of Michigan. And are we going to see them, well, kind of spread out, I suppose? Like that would be more of a favour.
I'm going to be honest, I don't expect it. I really was not expecting to see any sort of double file running. If they can get things slid into a nice and pretty single file, that's what I expect them to stick with. But the drivers have a tendency to prove us wrong here in the booth as we go. As we jump on board with Brad Cress, you can see just how they're hugging the wall there through the backstretch. The cars, the Gen 4s, have that little bit of an angle that helped them get through these turns a little bit better, and see how they go through 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't think they're going to want to run double file if they can avoid it. I just don't know what line is the best line, if it's going to be low or high.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, isn't it, really? It's the sort of unsure of it all, I think, here. You know, got a lot of running. They've got 95 laps here. We've got the up and down on the 002 on the outside there of Oliver Turan, and then we've got the 20 of Forrest on the inside. Ellis is kind of mid-racetrack, should we say. Tex Nichols is just kind of the same now as Ellis starts going up as well. So it almost looks like there could be multiple lines running, and I think if we was to have a look on board with Sean Bradley on the nose here, you can see he's tucked in on the inside, and I think there's going to be multiple lines. I believe that there's going to be, each line's going to come in as the race goes on, but it just depends on how high or how much they're going to want to risk it to try and go up high in the corners first and carry as much speed as possible.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, is what can that right front tire handle, and how much are you willing to risk it for this game? And I do think as we go through, the right front is really going to dictate the pace and the line that we see these drivers go long term. And I think Chad Baer, Sean Bradley, and Pericini and Cress, these top 4 here that are trying to open up a gap on the rest of the field, I think they're going to regret this in probably 15 laps time. Whenever that right front starts screaming at them, that right rear doesn't have the same grip, you start seeing them do what we saw in qualifying, and just completely sliding out of turn 2. But We still have plenty of time for that. For now, they're going to push each other as hard as they can here.
Yeah, absolutely. I do fully agree. Nobody's going to really want to be giving this up at this early stage, are they? They're going to want to try and stay as best as possible here. As we look out the nose of Sean Bradley, looks like he has just got the job done over Chad Bear. He has moved himself in front of Chad. I'm sure Chad's not sitting there thinking, oh my God, I'm not in the lead now. Everybody who drives officials, take note. You don't have to go last to first on the first lap. Just to let you know, it's a little bit longer, so just be aware that on this one, Ryan Hart, Cameron Kelly is in there as well. Cameron in that 37 machine, Ryan Hart in the 3, good put in the double 1 2. They're running side by side in the entrance into 2 now. What do we think on the draft perspective here? Is draft going to be massive? You know, we're not a Daytona, we're not a Dega, you know, nothing that relies high on draft. And then, are we looking at draft playing a part?
I still think draft is going to play a part here just because of the nature of the track. Look at how big the track is. Look at how wild it is. I will be surprised if the track is in a It's going to do something, and I just don't think it's going to be as big as, say, Daytona Talladega, but I do think it's going to have an impact. And I think that's part of why we see this top 4 trying to run away here from the rest of the pack, is because the top 4 is really just lifting up single file and taking off. Meanwhile, you have battles here like we're on board with Mike Rita here on the right-hand side, who's battling his absolute daylights out with Cameron Kane, trying to get a pass done and just swapping positions back and forth. And that's going to back them up from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the thing. You see the 2 in front going too wide there as well. And that's obviously Ryan Hart in front of us with Greg Pillar. But again, this could be why these guys up here have just got to rocket it away, because they are literally just following the leader. They're not doing anything crazy. They're not doing anything silly. They're trying to just... So that...
Turn 2.
Question is where?
I do not have a good answer for you off the top of my hand.
I think it was Carl St. Jean. Ah.
Yeah, it is.
That would explain that one if Carl is going backwards. Never a good look, just to let you know. Oh, you end up going back. I'm going to do it this way because unfortunately things can't pick up. The car coming always doing sliding up.
Yeah, he was loose all the way off the floor. He kind of had to get that. And then I'm going to guess this is just kind of similar to what we saw in qualifying here. That right-hand side just a little loose. He's just a little too... Oh, it snapped on him. Tried to grab and then it snapped. And then Kyle St. John goes away.
Yeah, that would be the first caution. That's number 1 on lap 8. Kyle St. John solo, completely solo there as well. I'm going to go fishing in this booth here. I want to have a chat with one of course, our wonderful league admins. We'll give him a minute because he is going into the pit lane here. And I don't want him to miss his pit box. So everybody just...
Not pitting. Not pitting.
Not pitting. Not pit. Oh, it's gone. No, actually he hasn't. That's because I was clicking the wrong one. Al Corey, we're going to welcome you in, dear sir. Tell us a little bit about everything that's been going on. How are you, dear sir?
I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well too.
I'm doing very well. Very, very wonderful. Watching these cars hurtle around 95 laps of Michigan. Listen, Triple Bypass admin sponsoring this evening, dear sir. You know, tell us who they are, who you want to thank for being here with you this season, because, you know, they've done a great job.
Yeah, it's been another terrific season. You know, all the admin group, everybody from the original league founders and then our additional series admins, they've all done just a fantastic job and helped us make season 5 the best yet. And you know, the turnout has been consistently good through this summer, so I want to thank all the drivers for spending some time with us and making really good races. You know, tonight 25 I think took the grid, so it's fantastic to see.
Yeah, it is. What's your ambitions, Al? What do we think Al Corey's going to get this evening?
Well, I think I just threw away a top 5 because I didn't pit with everybody, but I'm always looking for a top 5. And the car is quite loose tonight on exit. It's very easy to burn up the right rear tire. So we'll see. I really don't know what to expect. It's a very strong field tonight, very strong, but I'd be very happy with the top 5.
Why don't you dive in the pit lane now?
Well, I tend to try this early not to do what the leaders do. I mean, we only gone, I don't know, 8 laps on those tires, yeah. And I was thinking about fuel, but I don't think it would make a difference, so I decided to stay out for some track position.
Right, okay, mate. Well, let's hope you get on and do really well, because you and JC are tied, and you're only 10 points off Mr. Benson, the third in the championship. So obviously, from your point of view, Al, third is on the cards.
Yeah, I'd like to see Benson back there and mired in traffic, so, I'm okay with that.
No, man. Well, listen, we'll put you back because you're going to be getting green this time around. Good luck, Al. Let's see that top 5, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Take care. Right, there you go. That was Al Corey here as well. Totals track position, Brad, not gone into the pits. Has he cost himself any higher positions, do we think?
I wouldn't have pit either, so I do not think Al Corey has made a bad decision here. I think staying out this early, if you're confident with the car and you're comfortable with how you're driving, I don't think is a bad decision. Because the thing is, they've only got, 3 sets of tires here? So, I mean, if you pit here and you burn out a set of tires, you've got to get 2 sets to last another 85 laps. And that's that's a tall ask for anyone, but especially if you're not super happy with the setup, because they do fix setups here, you're going to have a bad time, James. So, as I will tell you, the Gen 4s are naturally feisty to run, and there's no reason to push them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it straight from the horse's mouth there as well. We're going to line up 2B2B2. How long are we going to stay double line for? Well, let's see as we're going to go into that go restart zone. We're going to start going green. Now we've gone green. Now we are up and running. The driver appreciation 95 is kicking in once more. Everybody, you see them nestling around further back there, trying to find their grid slots, trying to find their position in where they want to be. Matt Perezzini is bolted at the front. Cameron King's trying to follow him. He's alongside side by side. Corey's running that inside line, coming off, going in high, coming off, going down low, then coming out high as well. So there you go. And Angel Resendez, Derek Forrest is the last of the non-pitters currently, and Derek sitting in 6th place in that 20 machine. Gainers so far, well, Derek is one of the highest gainers, up at 15 places, 3 wide further back as well behind that. That's Bradley Herzog and Hyatt. Yeah, I think I want to be a little bit more careful. But Bradley decided that enough was enough. Brad, funny enough, and he went and sent it freeway.
Sean Bradley is a very comfortable driver in these cars. He's a driver that we see week after week do very well in these cars, but there is something about 3 wide with Gen 4s that just really, really scares me and always will. Even side by side can be scary in these cars sometimes. But man, being brave enough to take it 3 wide to the corner, you know what? Kudos to you, Sean Bradley. You deserve that P6.
Yeah, absolutely. Herzog in that 57 machine, the man from Salinas in California, in 8th place at the moment. He's chasing down Chad Bear. But of course, Chad doesn't have fast as a bandit in his name for no reason, right? He is literally swift. So Chad's going to be looking to make his way through the field as well, alongside the 3-3-3. That's Resendez. He's going to go down the order. Forrest is losing positions as if he stood still. Tex Nichols is another one that's looking like he stood still as well. He's dropped a couple, but the biggest out of all that is Mr. Forrest. He's just absolutely getting swallowed up here, Brad. And tires, do we think, could be the problem for Mr. Forrest there? His tires are just completely gone.
I think right now in his tires, yes, looking at his times, he's about he's a second a lap slower, up to 2 seconds a lap slower. So I think a little bit of it is Derek Forrest is trying to conserve a little bit because he is unusually slow compared to the rest of the field, especially when I look at like Al Corey, who's still running a 39.9 and versus Chad Bear 39.3. Like, he's still in the realm, but Derek Forrest's last lap was a 41.4. So I'm curious to know if he tapped a wall or did something different, or if this is just genuinely him just backing all the way off. no issues at all.
That's the problem, isn't it? The fact that they seem to forget that obviously, you know, they can run a caution-free race and have run caution-free races as well. You see Chad Bear is just literally swallowing up the front four at the moment. He has gone past Greg, he's stood still, he's gone past Corey, he's now going after Kane, he's got Bradley just down the road, and then Perezzini probably about a further 2.25 seconds up the road here. Chad is looking unstoppable at this moment in time. He's worked his way through after his pit stop. Do we think that the guys that haven't pitted are going to rue the fact that they haven't pitted?
I think in about 10 laps, it's not going to be as noticeable of a difference. I think once the freshness of the tires kind of scrub off, I think it's going to be okay for them. But also, I don't think you should compare yourself to Chad Bear, because just a quick reminder, Chad Bear has only participated in 8 races this season and has won 6 of them. So you know that the pedestal is very high for Chad Bear. He is the one to beat week after week. So I think if you're comparing yourself to Chad Bear, you're probably just setting yourself up for a little bit of disappointment, because he is the one to beat, I would say, anytime he's on the track.
Well, I've already compared myself to Chad Bear. You know, I mean, my pace on Thursday was unrivaled. It was unprecedented. Do you know what I mean? I only finished, I think it was like 41 laps down or something. So, you know, I'd like to think that I am on pace with Chad Bear when I'm on the racetrack, of course. But
I mean, you are an MX 500 winner. He's not. So I'll give you some credit where it's due. Yes, I do think if James Parfait is on track, there is a second round of competition there. We're going 3 wide through again. Our boy Brad Kress finding himself 3 wide there with the number 57 and the number 9. Oh, I don't like this. I do not like 3 wide on this track, but they settle it out, James. They get it together. We're down the backstretch. We're back into single file. At least for a moment, we're back to single file.
yeah, I think you can see now the tyre differences is coming into effect. You know, the guys that have changed the tyres, the guys that haven't changed the tyres, you know, the guys that have, Sean Bradley, Chad Bear, they've already jumped. Cameron Kane, who didn't, Pillars didn't, Corey didn't. So, you know, the next one is running on. He's closing in at a rapid rate of knots to the back end of our Corey as well. So I am a little bit worried that these guys who haven't could just get swallowed up. And then you're taking your chance of the check of the yellow flag that doesn't always normally come anyway in this race and in this league. And then you're kind of relying on the fact that you've got to take an off-schedule stop compared to everybody else. So I would have pitted. I think if I'd have seen the likes of Bear, Kress and Bradley going in, I would have got in.
I don't know. I see the argument, but I still don't think there's a bad thing with sticking to the plan that early on. And oh, Angel, hold on to it, buddy. Hold on to it. There you go. That was that car got a little more sideways than it should have there through turn 1 and turn 2. And I was very concerned we were going to have a snap moment there as we go through at 112 there on the high side of Pillar, trying to go around Corey through the high side, and then has that number 37 of Cameron Kane just ahead. Side by side, they go down the main stretch here. And Al Corey, I tell you what, for someone who said, oh, I should have pit, I should have took tires, he's driving just fine, really. He's driving nice and competitive. And, you know, again, the game right now is not necessarily for him to win. He's just looking for top 5s.
Don't. Kane's coming out in front.
Oh, man, that was scary.
Yeah, Cameron Kane out with Al Corey and Greg Pillar. Kane come off. They were almost off the wall and dropped the car straight in front of Pillar. Pillar was on a full run then as well, around the high side of turn 2 at the time. Is now on the high side of turn 4. Pillar again is looking for that run on the high side of Al Corey. Corey's on the inside there in the black and red triangle machine. Then we've got Pillar on the red and white. We've got Cameron Kane in the I don't really know what to call it. A commemorative livery, shall we say?
Oh, everyone got loose off of 2. I think Cameron Kane got loose, and I think it spooked Pillar, Greg Pillar, into dropping very low. So Al Corey can take a quick breath here because the two guys you were racing hard against just scared each other off. Now we're going to have another fun thing because now we just turned that 3-car battle into a 6-car battle. And this is where things are going to get a little more competitive. We got Brad Press on the low side here. You have the happy little accidents car is what I'll call it. The Bob Ross car there. Cameron Cade's back. And now he's got to hold off a bunch of people. This is stacking up to be a mess very, very quickly. We haven't even looked up at the top 3 yet.
Yeah, I think you're underestimating these boys' skill, Brad. I think, if you popped up here with Bradley, with Perezini, with Chad Bear, Perezini's lost that place. Of course, he's not pitted out the 3 here. And then you've got, obviously, Bradley and Chad Bear have, last time out, 40.33 for Bradley, 40.49 and 40.28. So Perezini's not massively off the pace for a man that hasn't pitted yet, and we're now 25 laps in.
Yeah, and I think it kind of shows that the first 10, I would say the first 10 or 15 laps is really where that tire delta wears in, and now we've hit that point where even though some of the guys have slightly older tires that didn't pit, you don't notice the difference because it's kind of holding on. Because the guys that have it pit are currently P3, P4, P5, and P6. And then you got to go back a little bit further here to Mr. Angel Resendez in P13. And then you got a couple guys down at the very back of the field. So, but a large majority of them are still up front where they were on the restart, or very close to where they were on the restart, kind of holding on. And I don't underestimate any of these guys at any time. I just overestimate how scary this car can be when the tires start to go on it.
I do fully agree with you. The Gen 4 is a powerful, scary beast, I think. It could be almost lion-esque. It's that powerful and that scary. So, yeah, fair play to these guys to make it round all of the circuit unscathed at the moment. Mac Harmon is there. That's Angel Resendez is further back. John Creedler and Mark Herzog in front of them currently in here, going into turn 2 at this moment in time. Mark in his famous in and out burger livery machine. Matt Harmon behind him there for the Harmon Racing livery machine number 28. And then we've got John Creedler tucked in right behind in that 99 machine as well, chasing them down. They're opening up a little bit of a gap. I think Chris Melton here, he's got Benson, he's got Casey Ellis, he's got John Campbell in behind him. Have they got to start using each other, do you reckon, Brad? Because at the moment, they're 1.3 seconds away.
They need to start working with each other and using each other to get the field kind of crunched back together. Whether they actually do that is another question entirely, but they need to kind of click it in their heads and work together and start to bunch this field back up a little bit. Start to use that little bit of a draft and get things moving and see if they can't squeeze things back forward. You can see on the track map on the top right just how big those gaps are starting to open up between the groups that are using the draft and the groups that aren't, and kind of where that's setting up. I don't think that is just pure pace difference. I do think that is a lot of draft and a lot of just single file running that is starting to wear in and go through, and somebody is coming down the leaderboard as I see it. I believe that is Casey Ellis who's losing places up on the main stretch. I don't know what's happening. But it looks like Casey just letting several people through, running slow on the high line there.
Yeah, unless he grabbed the wall on the way through, which is absolutely possible. We've got Brad Crest, Greg Pillar side by side. Brad's just gone underneath Pillar at this moment in time. They've swapped places about 5 times, but then that is easily done on this, as you just stick your nose in front and you end up getting a place swap. So there we go, we've got Sean Bradley. Chad Bear not too far apart either. 65 laps to go. When are the non-pitters thinking about pitting here, Brad? Because at the end of the day, they're still on 30-lap-old tyres.
I would think, in my head, you divide the race into thirds. If you didn't pit, you are starting to hit that time where you really need to be thinking about it. Maybe not even from a fuel perspective. I say fuel, they could probably run a little bit longer, but for tires, I would not want to be on those tires much more than just the third of the race. And the risk, the issue is they're going to be risking going flat down and going several laps down and getting off cycle and all of the other messes as we watch Sean Bradley and Chad Bear continue to go side by side here. Look at the way Chad Bear is working that wheel going through. I mean, I don't really know when they need to pit. I'm trying to figure that out in my head, and I cannot figure it out at all. Yeah.
It's difficult. It is difficult.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely is, because at the end of the day, you know, you're trying to see when people are going to go into the pit lane, and at the moment in time, you just know that they're going to be hanging on to them tyres as quickly as possible. Now, putting in perspective, Corey last time out 40.9, Bradley 40.8, Bear 40.8. So we're at that point now where the tyres are not making a massive difference. They're all doing round about the late 40s, coming into the early 41s maybe for some of the guys that Ward Fisher, Chris Melton, Benson a little bit further down. But everybody else is still around that 40 mark, and as long as Corey and the rest of the non-pitters, so Greg Pillar was another non-pitter, Cameron Kane was another non-pitter, as long as they stay within that 40s, they're not going to be far away here.
Yeah, it's not looking bad for them other than the fact that it's the fuel load is a 10-lap difference. That's really what hurts them, is that 10-lap difference in fuel. And it's going to set them up for an awkward off-cycle thing. And I hate to say it, but the one thing they need to kind of cross their fingers for is something like that we just saw. Was that Parasini? Who was that just snapped off?
Ryan Hyatt.
All right, Ryan Hyatt's running the TSC, Tennessee Storm Chasers tank there. So, but yeah, no, they need to. I hate to say it like that, but they need to hope somebody snaps off. And right as I say that, there's Greg Pillar, there's Cameron Kane in the pits.
Yeah, got it together. What's going to happen with Corey and Perezzini? In an ideal world, they want to be looking at going in together as well, give each other a little bit of coverage. But Perezzini's a lot further up the road than Corey at this moment in time. So Corey's not really got that option of having any friends to travel around with here, Brad. He's currently running, as they say, riding solo for Al Corey. He's got nobody to go with him, nobody to drop into the pits with. You can see Pillar's in, Kane's in, Angel Resendez is in. These guys are probably all going to go a lap down here. And Perezzini's just got in now. What about Corey? He's carrying on. Al's clearly feels like he's got enough fuel here.
I think Al has just found himself in a pickle at this point. Unfortunately, I just don't think the cards have kind of lined out the way he needed them to. He lost too much time to Parasini and the guys up front, and now you have Chad Bear and Sean Bradley running a two-car team way up ahead. And unfortunately for Mr. Al Corey, he's found himself in that sort of, riding solo, no man's zone pickle. And really the question is, what's he going to do about it? And I think he's going to pit this time by, and unfortunately he'll just be stuck solo for a little bit.
I don't know if he's found himself in a pickle. I do wonder whether or not Al thinks he's obviously been able to go longer than what he was expecting. We know Al's going to go down the order. We know Sid's going to go down the order. We know we lost Perezzini, Ferris, Cooper, Resendez. All of these guys that have pitting off the cycle. They've had to run a green flag pit stop. So I don't know. Oh, and Corey missed his pit box by a little bit as well. Sid's in. Sid nails his. But I do wonder whether or not they feel that they're not that far away while out of that pit stop cycle, but they could be. Tyler Morales is in YouTube chat as well. Shh, I'm watching while on the job. Now in England, that sentence means something a little bit different than what I feel it may have meant in YouTube chat. So I'm going to push in you're at work and not on the job as in the UK's translation. Just putting it out there.
I don't know the UK translation, so I'm going to tell you he is 100% sitting at his desk right now or wherever he works at and is watching this while he is trying to work. But I don't know the UK translation, and I'm just going to tell you that that's not what he means.
Right, okay. Well, that's good then. Tyler, let's get some work done. What are you doing listening to me? What are you doing, sir? Back on. I forgot where I was going after that conversation now. I've literally just...
Didn't tell you.
No, me neither. I've completely lost my train of thought. We were talking about the guys that have pitted. Harmon's gone back in. Ellis is in as well. So, lap 38 got, obviously, 57 to go. 56 to go now, as I sit here doing really quick maths, which is probably not my strong point. As we've got Herzog, got John Creedler going almost side by side. There's Perezzini trying to unlap himself on the bottom in that 24 machine for Matt Perezzini there. Who's on the outside? That's the white car. Who's on the outside there as well?
It's the number 19. Who is that, actually?
Sid,
we don't have
Sid.
a number 19.
Yeah,
no, there it is.
Sid. Yeah, Sid's trying to unlap himself. Perezzini's trying to unlap himself because obviously they're on newer tyres now. So these guys are unlapping himself. Al Corey's going to be another one that's going to be setting into the 39s, which is what he has done. 39.5 for Mr. Corey last time out. Well, that was his best time last time out. 39.6, I should say. So Al's going to be looking to start moving up as well. JC, Ward Fisher, Ward on the left in the red. JC and his Krispy Kreme donut livery machine there, traditionally had by the Australian, and he does a great job in that machine as well. Goes into turn number 2. No dramas for anybody at this moment in time. The pit cycle strategy is going to be an interesting one. The guys that pitted on lap 33, 34, 35 to 37 even, although we think they're going to be off cycle, Brad, I don't really feel they're going to be too far away from where they need to be.
They're probably not, and honestly, they might find themselves in a better spot with this extra set of tires in case there is that late race caution or any sort of issues near the end. So I don't know, I'm having one of those moments where, like, I feel like I know what's going on, and then all of a sudden I don't know what's going on. It just works sort of perfectly. So, yeah, I don't know. Also, Sean Bradley got back ahead of Chad Bear at some point, so I don't know what's happened there.
I can tell you what happened. Not a lot at all. Bear's got loose, clearly, to allow Bradley to come through. If you look at Chad Bear, he's off the side of the circuit. He's trying to recover the car. So that is how Bradley got past Bear there as well. Bear having a big old moment on the race circuit once again. Mike Weeder is in. Ward Fisher's still running. Nodge is still running. So great job from him. Corey's in 15th. He's chasing down Kane, which is in the Bob Ross livery machine. Oliver Turan is nestled in here with Chris Melton, I believe. Not Mark Herzog, it's Chris Melton and, well, anyway, Jason Benson, to be honest. Matt Harmon, I think that is, have just gone past him there. But this is Chris Melton and Oliver Turan side by side. Over the line they go. Turan on the left, Melton on the right. How are these guys going to work this one out, Brad? Is it always difficult, do you think, you know, running side by side around an oval?
I think it is because I just don't have a lot of skill as a driver. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Running the sort of upper end series of the oval licenses is not something I'm very good at. I tend to stick with the very, very short quarter-mile short tracks. And run the open wheel modifieds where your passing is very similar to a dirt car where you just kind of jam the brakes and send it up the inside and make it stick. So I don't tend to enjoy doing the long run side by side. I find it can be very challenging, and usually I'm the driver that backs out of it a little bit and sort of gives the breathing room to the other driver and lets them through, and then just tries to power it back around. So if you ask me, I'm going to say everything about this is difficult, and then you add the Gen 4 car and turn it up to 11, but I've been told that's a skill issue, James. I don't know, though.
Oh, I don't have skill issues. You know what I mean? I have not skill issues, I have nodge issues in my race the other day. So I don't have skill issues, really, too much. at some point. You know what I mean? I'm interested to see. Do you know, I'm trying to work this out here. I reckon if Al Corey can go another 33 laps, no, 35 laps, he's going to stop one more time and then get that car to the end, right? The guys that are pitting now are not going to make it. They're going to be round about 80 to 85, and they're not going to make it. Where Al Corey, Perezzini, all the people that pitted late are now starting to make their way forward again, because Melton's in, Herzog's in, Kreidler's in, Cress is in. The only one that's come out in front of Al Corey is Sean Bradley, and that's how close they are. They will come out literally side by side here. So Al may not have thrown away that top 5 as he thinks, because I think they've still got one more stop to go.
There's 50 laps to go here, so I think reasonably it makes sense to assume they have one more stop.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where I think things get really spicy. All of those guys who pit on lap 10 that have done at least 2 pit stops, as I see some people are on the clock for 3. What have they done with tires? Did they take tires at lap 10? Did they not take tires at lap 10? Everyone who took tires at lap 10, this is their final set. It has to make it 50 laps. And we've seen how they've done on 45 laps. Or 40 laps, depending on when they pit. I think the guys who stayed out made a very, very good strategy call. I think they made a very good strategy call because their tires, we saw how fast those tires are through the first 10 or 15 laps. So if they pit in, and again, split the race into thirds, they pit in around that lap 70 mark or so, 75, they're going to get the best out of those brand new set of tires all the way to the end, and they can fight their way through the field. I think they can really make something work.
I think this is just going to be a very interesting pit stop strategy race here. I think the likes of Corey, Perezzini, they're not in the driving seat, but I think they've got one hand on the gear stick. Do you know what I mean? I don't think these guys are going to have it all their own way. That's 2 they've taken, roughly average around about 35 here. I think, you know, you're looking at the stint lengths there for Bradley. In on 9, in on 34 laps. Bear the same. Corey went all the way to 35. He's now sitting on 12. He can go another 35, which is 70, and then he's going to get to the end after that. So, you know, I find this a little bit risky. Kashishin in at 9. He then went 25 and is now in at 13. He's on a 13-lap sprint. Weider's 9, went in on 32-lap sprint session, and now has gone to 7 laps. So I don't feel, if Corey can get 35 out of these, that's going to be 70. He's going to go in early. The other guys are going to go in after that. Looks like a 35-lap average, Brad. So if you work out for Sean Bradley, 43, 35, or 78, Corey would have already been in at that point to go to the end. Do you know what? I think I might tip Corey for the winner.
I'm with you on that. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of with you on that because he's P3 right now. He's in a good place. I think the only thing that's really going to kind of hurt him is if he can hold a pace against Sean Bradley and Chad Barrett, because last laps they were running 39.3s and Al Corey last lap was a 40.8. So, I mean, I think other than that, actually, even with that, I mean, if you know, James, I might be with you on that. It might be Corey's race to lose right now, and he may not even realize it.
I'm thinking the same thing there. What is going on, Cam? I'm just going to have a look now. Definitely should not be looking like that.
I'm going to presume that there is a stream technicality that is occurring here.
Yeah, is there have you got, unless there is a stream compression going on?
I've got it running in 1440p 60 on my side.
Yeah, but does it look...
It does look a little questionable, though. Now that I haven't been fully focused on it, of course, because I've been focusing on the live action, but it does look a little compressed. I don't know if that's a YouTube issue or what that is.
That's not a me issue. Give it a couple of minutes and let me know if it settles down. Guys, I have hired the bit rate up, and hopefully that will try and resolve the issue, but I've never had it sitting on...
I've never seen that.
No, talk for a minute, Brad. I'm going to just do some investigating.
Yeah, and as we go through here, so there's Creedler getting around Herzog finally. He's been setting this up for a number of laps and trying to make that one stick. He's finally got it to stick through, which, I mean, as we see and as me and James have talked about over and over again, these Gen 4 cars are an absolute handful to run. So when you're running consistently behind someone like that lap after lap, just trying to find that sort of weak spot, it's hard to do. And now Creedler's gotten around here. Herzog is just going to have to settle back in and kind of pick a spot and say, okay, what do we do here? What do we do? Where do we go? And now they're catching up to Mr. Matt Harmon. They're the number 28, and he is going to try to hold both of them up, but I don't think Matt Harmon will have it in the tank to really be that competitive. And as we can see, it is a D. They're both just going to sail down low. Matt Harmon getting wiggly off the exit 2 there. Does a very good job of keeping it together, though. Again, the Gen 4s, I'm going to tell you, if you're in YouTube chat and you're listening to this now, you have got to have run at least one dirt car series to really be comfortable in the Gen 4s. That is how swirly these cars can feel. Because you've really got to be at a point where you're comfortable with the car for that. And the reason I say dirt series is because that's where you learn the old Doc Hudson saying, turn right to go left. And if you haven't learned that and you're not comfortable with that, this car is 1,000 times more difficult. And if you don't like a loose race car, this car is 1,000 times more difficult, because the only thing this car knows how to do is slide out from under it. It's very, very scary to really just sort of see and go along with here. And, you know, it gets very, very challenging to drive these cars. I ran one race with triple bypass this season in the Gen 4s, and it was Atlanta. It was not streamed, which is why I raced it. And I made 25 laps and totaled my car out, and then called it a night there. So respect to every one of these drivers here tonight that are even just trying to run this game around the block, because they're doing 10 times better than I would have, because they're on lap 57 and 95 here in the Driver Appreciation 95 here with triple bypass.
What the blinking Nora was that?
Hey, you told me to talk for a couple minutes. I went on a monologue. It's fine. It's fine.
I can see. You just went on a monologue. Right. Now, I've just set that up with the settings of the recommended for what we're doing here. So give that a little bit of a moment. I hope that fully, that will start settling down a little bit. I'm a bit bizarre there. Never quite had it where it started compressing as bad as that one. Kashishian has just gone past the inside of Greg Pillar on lap 58 and 95. Mike Weeder is there with Brad Crest down on the low side, straightening up that D, obviously, of course, here. Weeder still hanging it round the outside, though. Lap 58 of 95. There, Brad as well. So let me know if that's got any better for you, and if it hasn't, well, then I'm going to go and kick my machine.
I worry that it's not the machine issue, as we see Brad Crest absolutely hugging the wall all the way around the corner here. I mean, doggone. I know there's a high line, but he is running the high line. going through. And, you know, I worry it's more of a YouTube issue than it is anything, to be honest. I don't think it's necessarily a your machine issue. I think it's more of a YouTube issue, and YouTube doesn't know how to handle the thing that they literally make trillions of dollars a year to do.
Yeah, I know there's been issues before with the upload and the compression of it as well. It's certainly not my internet now. I can both speeds of 900 up and 900 down, so it can't be that causing problems. But Cameron Kane and Brad Cress, however, on lap 60, we're expecting Al Corey in round about 70. If he comes in on lap 70, we know what the plan is. He's going to try and get to the end. And then everybody else that has been pitting out on 43, 44, 45 are not going to be able to get to the end because we think they've only got about 35 laps of fuel running near on as empty as it can be. And then they're going to be in round about lap 80. So this is far from over. This is far from done here. And I think at the end of the day, this could be, well, I still believe it's going to be Al Corey's to throw away. Unless, of course, all of a sudden he realises, and then he might throw it away himself.
You know, I know all the drivers like to have the broadcast in the background and be listening to it, so I gotta wonder, does anyone change their strategy up because they've heard us talking about this? Is anyone trying to mix things up? And also, Al Corey, if you're listening to us, do everything we say to a T because we're coaching you to a victory right now. Just consider us your crew chief spotter and your friend all in one because we want to see the victory happen here tonight. I think that would be pretty cool to see you get the victory here on a season finale. But if you're any other driver, we are not providing racing advice. We are just commentators talking off the top of our heads, just trying to guess as we go. So with all of the fun disclosures and disclaimers out of the way here, I agree with you here, but I think also the secondary trillion-dollar question is Sean Bradley and Chad Baer, like, are they going to be able to pull up enough of a gap that even if Al Corey does that perfect drive, it kind of doesn't matter, and they can have enough of a gap to kind of run their way back around and find their way back up P1, P2?
Well, they're going to be they're 15 seconds at the moment, right, in front of Corey. Okay. 45, roughly around about 45-second pit lane time. Obviously a 15-second stop, but that's not going to be 15 seconds because it's not asking them to fill it all the way up. So I still think Corey can come out in the lead, but it's whether or not he can get enough of the lead to be able to hold it. Well, if he should go in. It's whether he got enough of the lead to hold on to it. That's what I'm saying here as well. Not going to lie, I do have you guys in the background when you do a broadcast with TBB. So there we go. Some people do listen to us. I don't even listen to me when I'm driving, to be honest.
Well, usually you're talking and driving most of the time when I see you driving. So, I mean, I guess you could have your broadcast on with like a 5-second delay. Well, it's probably more about 10 seconds by the time it all goes through. That would be difficult. I wouldn't do that, James. I wouldn't recommend that.
Well, no, I don't recommend it either. I wouldn't recommend it driving in comms, to be blatantly honest with you. It's tough.
Oh, you do just fine, though.
Well, I did until I buried it in the wall behind our very own Mr. Crutchley, of course. Do you know what, bless him? He did apologise for that. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry for messing you up." I said, "Dude, you didn't mess me up. You got nothing to worry about." You know what I mean? It was one of them things. I was blind. I didn't pay attention to how quickly the wall come up on Charlotte and went bang straight into the side of it on the tri-oval. So partly my fault. But yeah, he was trying to stay out the way apparently. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get down because I had people on my inside as Corey and Cress have just swapped positions. So that's another one down for Corey. Perezzini's now in. That's a little bit earlier than what I thought he would be for Matt Perezzini. Yep. A little bit more earlier. I'm expecting Corey to be able to go at least 3 to 4 more laps than that.
Yeah, I would think that Corey's going to run until 70, if not a little bit longer. I don't know, though, but Cress has gotten around Corey, but Also, looking at lap times, Brad Kress has kind of turned up the heat a little bit. He just ran a 40.9, and Al Corey ran a 41.4 last lap. So I think Al has backed it down just a little bit, trying to get to a certain tire delta or a certain fuel delta. But as I say that, here we go, and he's back on the back of Brad Kress here. We'll see how long he runs around. He's still in the middle of the track right now, so he's not going to pit this lap. So we've got at least one more lap, but as you said, James, I'd say probably he's going to run at least 5 more laps. The big goal for him needs to be just to stick to the back of Brad Kress here and just keep going around and get what he can out of these tires. I'd run him till the rubber's off.
Yeah, I would as well, until my fuel tank's empty, until I can't go anymore, until my pit, my crew chief turns around and says, pit this lap, but you've got nothing left. Kane's in, Pillar's in, Cooper's in, Nichols is in. Corey knows he needs to go that extra 3 laps. He knows this. He's got to get that car to at least lap 70 as he goes past Angel Resendez there. Here comes the ever-flying Matt Perezzini. Don't forget, Perezzini's got new tyres in as well. Oh, listen, I think Tyler is to buy, listen to it. James, you did an outstanding job doing both on Thursday despite the chaos. You did really well. Well, yeah, I was involved in one of the chaoses at that moment in time. Didn't have nowhere to go. But let's get back to this one with Corey, because I'm going to be interested to see if he can get to 70 and stay within a decent time of the guys in front. And he's 15 seconds back at the moment. It's going to be a minute.
In this lap.
69. Oh.
He's going to be pushing it.
Yeah.
I still think it's his to lose, but I think it's pushing it. I think he should have won at least a couple extra laps, but also I will say that's a big ask of the driver in the car to kind of do all that math at once. He gets all 4s locked up. There it is. Clean stop into the box. Right side goes up. But I think that's the one thing, too, to remember is that these guys are trying to do math and drive these cars at the same time. And sometimes that's a little hard. I think hindsight might come 2020 for him. And after the race, if we talk to him, he might be the one to say, I should have won a couple extra laps. I should have done this. But as it stands right now, he's written his race, and now he's just got to drive it.
You got to go out. You have got to go full bore. You have got to get that pit lane down to 49 seconds or round about 40 seconds, because I can tell you one thing, you are currently 57 back from that leader. You have got to go some, son. You've got to put the pedal to the metal, rag the riches off them tires, and just absolutely go full bore here, because we do believe within about 5 to 6, maybe 10 laps at the most, Sean Bradley, Chad Bear, Brad Kress, Melton, Benson, Campbell, Turan, Crutchley, Ward Fisher, maybe not Perezzini, but I think Corey might have the tyres over Perezzini to get up to him and pass him. It's going to be close between Perezzini and Corey, but yeah, you've got to go and just rag them tyres to death now. Go and absolutely thrash them to get that gap down. They've got to get it down to below 40 seconds, otherwise they might not be able to get out and stay in front of him.
Yeah, and Al Corey coming around now. He is going through and out. I'm trying to look and see where he finds himself in this mix as he goes through. He does need to get past Perezzini, as you pointed out. That is going to be one of the big challenges for him, but I don't think it'll be too much of a challenge. I think they'll get through just fine here as we go around. Bradley and Bear are still just kind of sticking 0.3 of a second from each other, half a second from each other, quarter of a second of each other. They haven't passed each other in a minute. They've just been bumper to bumper. I think they know their challenge right now is Al Corey and tire strategy. And Chad Bear's into the pits now. I worry we might be in trouble here, as Sean Bradley's in as well. So those two, I have a feeling those two are working together. Al Corey's coming around. Where does he find himself in relation to them here? He's across the start-finish line. Where are the race leaders, Bradley and Bear?
In the pit lane.
And they're just now stopping. Oh! Chad Bear overshot his pit box.
They're just now stopping, and we really need to know where. Let's go with Perezzini as the optional first. Oh, they're out.
Oh man. Now they've got to.
They didn't go long. I don't think they went. They didn't go as long as we thought they were going to let go. They literally jumped early.
I think they knew they had to cover off, so they went ahead and stopped, unfortunately. Now I think the question is going to be, because we still have all the drivers around them that need to stop, so in reality it is Sean Bradley, Chad Bear, Parasini, Al Corey, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And they've still got that gap, too, between Parasini and Corey. They
went in earlier, but I think they knew they had to cover him off here. I think they knew if they'd gone to 80, they would have left it with them pulling out a second or so a lap over them. That there would have been laps that they would have got back. I would expect a rush round about lap 80 of pretty much everybody else who hasn't pitted so far. So Turan, Campbell, Crutchley's not pitted at the moment. Actually, at this moment in time, everybody else has got in behind them. So it's only them three that have not pitted, and that's going to put Perezzini up and Corey up as well. Brad Crest did not get a good run out of that pit stop cycle. He is behind Corey, behind Perezzini. Turan's got to go in. Campbell's in. Crutchley's in. So now it's going to be whether or not Corey can catch Perezzini to take that final podium, as we've only got 21 to go here.
Yeah, 21 to go here, and you can see that Al is leaking time as it stands to those top two. Unfortunately, I think that is just all she wrote in, and the question is really going to become for Al Corey, what's he got against Matt Parasini? And he's going to have to give it his all here with 20 to go. I think he's got it, though. I do think he's got it. We'll see if Al can find his way up onto a podium here. That's going to be the big challenge. And then Bradley and Bear, that gap 1.4, we'll see how they sort of battle things off here, as well as I do think Chad Bear would like to have that final win here this season if he can find it.
Yeah. I reckon he'll try, but Bradley's looking very, very quick here. This is the Creed-Lacane-Kashishian battle. Sid in the 19. Cameron Kane in the middle. The 99 just goes straight underneath Cameron Kane as if he stood there. That's Creedler in that 99 machine. He's going to edge it out now as well. Kane's going to try and come back underneath him. Is he? Nope. He's going to sit there and push him along. Turan's into the pits, which we knew was coming anyway. They pulled a strategy off. They knew Corey, Perezzini were the challengers. Bear and Bradley knew that if they didn't go in, they were going to be hemorrhaging at least a second and a half per lap. And they couldn't afford to do that. They took that plunge early because there's no way you would all of a sudden make a decision when you're still 10 to 12 laps away from where you should be, that, you know, all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm going to go in now. No.
Yep.
You were early.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you do just have to make the strategy call, and it works out in your favor. And I mean, it's unfortunate for Al that he finds himself in this position, but sometimes that's the gamble you take. You kind of go on a strategy, and then you got to just kind of hope that the guys ahead don't catch on to the scent of the strategy you're at. But right now, I think Al is right on the back of Parasini. He's closed that gap down to about half a second. And I do think we have a battle for P3 on our hands here as it stands. And I think give it a couple more laps, and Al Corey and Matt Parasini are going to have a throwdown for the ages here.
Yeah, I'm also keeping an eye on this. Ouch, John Creedler. Ferocious. Literally, what a ferocious move. Got the inside job done. Slight little tap on the way through. He let him know that Kashishian couldn't come down on him. And he made sure that Sid was aware. Now we're going to look at the ever-flying Mr. Brad Kress. He pitted on lap 73. We've got 16 to go at 95 here. So that means we are on 88. No, 88? Not 88.
No.
Where are we? 79. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me try to do maths here. Lap 79. So he's got a bit of time to make up as Cress. I don't think it's going to get up to Corey because that gap nearly 5 seconds. I think he's going to struggle to get up to Al Corey here, but I think Al is definitely going to try. Well, there you go. That's how close they are. Perezzini's in the front in that 24 DuPont machine, and Corey is behind in that 45 Canadian, now Dallas liveried machine here as well, I suppose, Brad. Can Corey get the free?
I mean, he's going to try it. Look at him. He's getting right on the rear of Matt Perezzini. Perezzini getting loose there. Now you've got the 002 of Tehran there as well, who's just kind of in, and he's saying, you know, guys, I'd like to get past both y'all, and I'd like to try to chase my lap here, but they're not going to let this happen. Al Corey to the inside here of Mr. Matt Perezzini. He's going to look through. Matt gets a little loose off the exit. They give each other plenty of room, plenty of width, and there we go. Al Corey ahead of Matt Perezzini up into P3. The gap 18 seconds to Sean Bradley and Chad Bear, and if you wonder how much 18 seconds is, it's half a lap, if not a little bit more.
Yeah, no, they literally, by the looks of it, there was like 50%. If you watch down in the bottom corner of the track map, the number 1 is just going over the line now. The number 3 is just on the opposite side of the circuit. So they are literally half a lap away from each other here, and Perezzini starting to drop back. If you want to ever see what 4-lap older tyres look like, that, because Corey went in on 68, Perezzini went in on 64, and now, unfortunately for Perezzini, Corey's made the most of them 4-lap old tyres. He knows he's got the grip, and he knows he's going to go off here as well. So great job from Al Corey. Kashishian again, and that's Brad Kress. Is he going to be able to stay with Kress, or is Kress just going to be too absolute speedy? He's got currently 3.3 seconds to Al. I bet you Al's sitting in that car wishing it would be finished right about now, Brad.
Yeah, Al really, really wants this to be just done. He would be very, very happy to just sort of have this set and over. And unfortunately, 12 laps to go here. It's not going to happen. And all of these guys are going to be holding their breath. They just want to get through these final 12 laps here. Brad Kress especially is going to be just charging through. He wants these 12 laps to stay green with no questions, no harm, no foul. And if you're Sean Bradley and Chad Bear, you really want these final 12 laps to stay green with no questions. Remember, Brad Kress has the championship already wrapped in, no issues there. So really his thing is he's just running for, you know, the fun of it is he starts to catch up to Creedler here, and we'll see if he can get forward here. I'd say give him another 2 laps. He'll be around Creedler without issue.
Yeah, I think so as well. But it's whether or not he can get to Mr. Corey or Perezzini. 2.5 seconds now. Brad Kress last time 39.86. Corey's was a 40.3, so about half a second a lap. There is going to be a plateau point for Kress's tyres. It's going to be fairly very soon, I think, because he went in on 69. We've got 10 to go now. We're on lap 85. Creedler could do Corey a job here, holding him up.
He really could. I don't think he's going to, but he really could here as we go around through turn 4 here, James. And there it is. Kress gets the high line. He's good through, and Creedler on the low line. I mean, he's going to try to run with it. He's not close enough, so he just needs to slot back in and kind of hang out. And at this point, 10 to go, 2-second gap to Perezzini. That's going to be a bigger ask, but we'll see what happens here. I still think Perezzini might have a run on Corey here near the end. And unfortunately for Chad Bear, the gap over 2 seconds to Sean Bradley, I think that one's probably cemented in.
1.7 to Corey now. 9 to go.
It's getting closer. I worry Perezzini might have let him by to try to hold on a little bit, and now he's going to try to really push and catch him here and get this pass done, because the gap's now 4/10.
Yeah, there is Perezzini, there is Kress. Yeah, it's just broken that second mark. Last time out, 40.8 6:02 for Crest, 6:4, 6:6 for Al Corey and Perezzini respectively. Matt Harmon is side by side at the moment with the 112 Greg Pillar, as these guys battling it out down for a little bit earlier on in a 11th and 12th. So we'll have to keep an eye. We've got 8 to go, 7 to go at the line. Sean Bradley probably could want to wish this to go a lot quicker, Brad, than what it probably is.
Yeah, he's sitting there just whole fingers crossed. Look at the 333 there of Resendez getting very, very loose there, going all the way to the low side, lets the leader through, and he's just, if you're Sean Bradley, every second, you're kind of just fingers crossed right now. You're really just hoping that you get through this next 7 laps cleanly and nobody has any major issues. Nobody tries to get very gutsy and make an unnecessary move. You really just want to see these 7 laps go through and, oh.
You all right? Oh. Oh.
All right. That was Matt Perezzini. Solo spin, Matt Perezzini. Oh. Look at how close he was taking Crest with it. Oh my gosh.
That is going to change everything.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you had placed your bets on Al Corey, it's not too late. Betting is open until the white flag drops. Al Corey now finds himself right on the tail end of the leaders here and might be in a very, very good position. Sean Bradley and Chad Bear, of course, up through. And now Chad Bear might find himself in a position to win as well.
The question is, though, do they pit if they've got a set of tyres left?
I don't think anyone has a set of tires left.
Al Corey must
I will
do.
be.
There's 3 sets of tyres plus the one they started on, right? That's effectively 4. Al Corey's started on 1. He went into 2.
So Al should have a set left.
3. Technically, on my eyes, I've got Corey having 1 more tyre.
I think you're right. And he's pitting.
They all are.
Oh, this is gonna be cheeky.
Bradley's not got any. Cress hasn't got any. Bear's not got any left.
Al Corey will be the first car, depending on where he comes out of the pits, on fresh tires. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't place your bets on Al Corey, it is not too late. Remember, betting is open until the white flag drops. Be sure to place your bets in the YouTube chat here at jpbroadcasting.com.
Al's going to be the first one. If he can get out quick enough on the race for pit lane, he's taken 4. He's got to get out in front of Perezzini and Herzog. Oh, he just drives literally straight through him, which he has done. Matt Harmon's the only other person in front of Corey. The guys in front have got no tyres.
And Al Corey will be starting P5.
Mm-hmm.
James, we have a race on our hands.
Mm.
It'll be
Stay
3 to
tuned.
go.
Yeah, and while we're here, we'll give the big old Triple Bypass admins a massive shout out for sponsoring this evening's race as well. That's league admins, Discord admins, any kind of admins, Al Corey's feet scrubbing admin, his little admin for doing everything else for him. I don't know, but it's just a massive shout out to these guys. These guys have been amazing all season, as they always have been whenever we've come by and joined up with us and done some great racing. So let's give a big shout out to the admins as well, as they go and sponsor this evening's last race of this Gen 4 season. And what an ending this is going to be here now. It's got to be some wave rounds. There's got to be some lucky dogs. There's got to be, please get Al Corey back to the front with Matt Harmon. Bradley, Bear and Cress, they were doing, oh no, I can't really, can I see? Hold on. Try something here as well. Something you normally do in ovals, but can I get this? Can I get this to work?
Look at this formation going. Al Corey, do you know that you are in the best situation possible right now?
Mm-hmm.
This is the point where I need Al Corey to pull the gloves off and get aggressive. I need to see him be a feisty little race car driver right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Give me the show. There you go.
Bear's lap time was the 41.57. And we know they can go 39s on tires.
Al should be able to get this done. I am having a fan moment right now. I know I'm the commentator here, but I'm telling you right now, Al Corey should be able to get this done, and it's going to be very, very hard to block him on fresh tires.
It's going to be what Harmon can do.
Yep.
It will be what Harmon... £100 on Al Corey, says Tyler Ruelas.
All right. Good choice.
Oh, they've moved.
Oh.
What? That was a very cockamamie start. I'm not even sure what that was there. That was very, very bizarre. It's now on Corey. Corey, you have got to go. Go, go, go. Scrub the living grannies out of them tires. Just put your foot down. Send it in. Hope it sticks. The 45 should get this. We've got 3 to go. He's got tires for days as Corey. He had 1 set. There goes 1. Now running up the inside of another coming out of turn 2, out of turn 3. There's also Sid Kashishian coming through like an absolute banshee as well. They've got 2 to go. It's going to be Corey and Kashishian. Kashishian's running like an absolute monster.
Come on, Al.
Is it going to be Al Corey? Is it going to be Sid Kashishian? You've got to block him off. Get out the way, 77. Go on, Al.
Oh, Sean Bradley trying to go with the cheeky block on the inside. Loses all the time. It's going to hold Sid up. Al Corey, this is your race. 2 to go. It's white flag next time by.
He's got 2 to go, but look at Sid on the inside. Sid's in the 19. Sid's also on tires. He is also on tires. Oh, we got a yellow! No!
Why?
Oh, he didn't quite get over the line.
Oh, green, white, checkered. That was Chad Bear. That was Chad Bear crashing.
At Matt Harmon. Oh, whoa.
Oh.
Bear was already backwards.
And that is Cress.
Whoa. Yeah, not too much internet issue there at all. What the living daylights was that? How can they say this was God? Look at this.
Come on.
All right, well, you got a green-white checker, Corey. You've got a green-white checker. The trouble is, he's got Mr. Sid Kashishian now right with him. I'm not going to pull any of them in the booth at the moment. I'm going to let them play this out.
It's his race to lose. It is 100% his race to lose right now. He's done everything right this race, even when he thought he didn't.
Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. Battle up, guys. Buckle in. These last 3 are going to get noisy.
Yeah, we're 2 to green here. It looks like Naj gets the wave around. This is this is going to be fun. This is going to be real fun.
That's one way of putting it.
So the question, if you're Sid, is what do you do to get past Al? You're starting on the outside line, which is not the line I would want to be on.
If I was Al, I'd be arguing that line tighter than my favourite grandma. I really would.
He's gonna have... I don't know how wide these Gen 4 cars are, and I don't know how wide Michigan Raceway is. He needs those 2 numbers to match up just about perfectly for the green-white checkered. He needs to block like his life depends on it. We'll see we'll see what Al can do here. And I think Sid's going to play some mind games here going around this final thing. He's going to be just right beside him. He's going to make sure Al knows he's there.
The Sid, he's got to sit as close to Corey as he possibly can. Right, he's got to literally be on Corey's box. And as soon as Corey jumps, and if I was Al, I would hurl it off right at the beginning. Right at the beginning of that Geico restart zone, I'd be gone. I haven't seen anything in the rules about he's got to wait till green. And do you know what else I would do as well? Just purely because I did this at Martinsville. I would move my line up as close as I can get them to that wall.
Yep.
I would literally cement them right up as close as I can get my car to push that outside lane high as possible. So when I come off that corner, I'm going to dive for the inside, use the downward slope of the banking, up my speed, and I'm going to be gone into the mist, into the evening off here. I would, yeah, up that line, get them up, get them on the wall. They've got to think about the wall then. Just saying, not that I'm a dirty driver, but I may have did that in the MX-500.
So green flag, white flag, next flag ends it. Al needs to be in front.
Oh, come on,
the white
Al,
flag
push him up.
least.
Push him up.
I don't think he's going to do it.
No, he's definitely not. He's too nice.
This is where your inner driver comes out, and you've got to want that win. Oh. All right, James. Barney has the green flag. Pace car is in. It's Al's race to lose. Let's call it.
He's gone. He's gone already. He's gone green.
He caught Sid off guard.
Yeah, he's gone green already as Corey is now going to be settling in. Get up on that high side, cover off. Then as soon as you start going into these... No, don't hit a wall. Drop back down again. Pick up the pace. He's got to use that. He's got to use what he's got here. If Kashishian gets a run, he's got to block it. If he gets a run on the inside, he's got to block it. If he's got a run on the outside, he's got to block it. He has just got to block. He's got to move his car. He's got to be as wide as he possibly can. Cameron Kane's coming through as well now. Corey, you've got to be ruthless. You've got to go up. You've got to go up. Oh, he's not going to go up. He's going to be coming off the wall. Kashishian and Corey. Kashishian, we're on the final lap. Run the inside, Al. Send it in deep and hope it sticks, son. Send it in. There you go. Now hug the line. It's going to be coming off. You've got to go up, 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 up. He's got to get
Sid hit the wall.
Sid
hit
hit
the wall. Off
There's been a crash behind as well. Cameron Kane, Perezzini. Now it's all on Corey. Drop down on the inside. It's going to be an out Corey win. The man who didn't even think he would get it. Kashishian's all loose. He's trying to bang it. Oh, he's banged him all. He's hit the wall. It's Corey. Corey takes the victory.
For the guy who said a top 5 was his goal, he just took a win. That is legendary.
Oh, Corey took the victory. He did it. He absolutely did it here. Oh, made up. Absolutely made up. Give me them donuts, sunshine. Give me them donuts. I want big, fat, Krispy Kreme donuts. You better start spinning, son. I'll tell you that much. Al Corey is your winner.
He's going to take a victory lap.
Oh, why not? I would. Wave to the crowd on the way through, Al.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Why Al was doing that? Let's have a look at the results, because I'm not sure what he's doing. I was waiting for his donuts, but he ain't doing nothing. Al Corey, your winner. John Creedler in second, with Matt Harmon finishing third. Sean Bradley fourth. Then Greg Pillar, Sid Kashishian fifth and sixth. Brad Crest seventh. Chad Bear down in eighth. The Nodge in 9th, Mark Herzog 10th, Matt Perezzini in 11th, then Chris Melton, Cameron Kane, John Campbell, Casey Ellis, then Mike Weeder, Ward Fisher, Jason Benson are your top 18. Angel Resendez, Derek Forrest, Tex Nichols, Oliver Turan, Brian Cooper, Ryan Hyatt and Carl St. John. Come on, Al.
Something big happened behind them too. I don't know what happened there that final lap. We'll have to go. I want the donuts first. I paid for the donuts. I would like the donuts. Did he stall the car?
I don't think you can. Can we rotate?
Come on, Al.
Oh, he's going to park it on victory lane, isn't he? Oh.
As he should.
Yeah, but I would do donuts first before I went and did that.
Oh, I'd pop the rear tires with donuts if I was Al Corey right now. That was... wow.
So this is Kane. Oh, Perezzini, Herzog. Ouch. That was on the final. That was what happened on the final lap between them guys. And Perezzini and Kane were just done at that point as well. But ladies and gentlemen, where is he? Where is he? The man who said he's going to finish in 5th. The man who pulled an absolute masterstroke with a pit lane strategy. Not on purpose, but he did it anyway. And he has come up from this top 5. He's taken a victory. It's the man, the myth, the legend, the winner of the final race of the season, Mr. Al Corey in the booth. Al, welcome in, buddy.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Mate. Oh, dude, we had you pegged at lap 65 that if you got that second stop right, you were going to win. And you were fortunate enough with that pace car. You still had a set of tyres left as well. Bro, tell us about it. How was it out there?
Yeah, I was locked into my top 5. I was quite happy. And then that late caution came out, and the top 3 didn't have tires left. And I was the first car in line that had tires left. I almost took 2, but I took 4, and I think it took me almost 2 laps to get by everybody. And then of course we had the green-white checker, and I pushed as hard as I could. I couldn't push any harder, and fortunately I was able to run away from Sid when he got in a little trouble. But oh boy, what a race.
Yeah, well, I reckon you would have got him. If we hadn't had the GWC, I reckon you would have got him anyway, because you were flying up in corners, dude. You were absolutely, kicking it in there. I reckon you would have had it if we didn't have that GWC. But you got it anyway. Sid bounced off the wall coming out of, I think it was out of 2. Bounced off the wall in the final lap, hit the wall on the outside, gave you that room, because otherwise I think it would have been literally a breakneck photo finish on the 2 of you over the line there, dude. But listen, Al, you won, buddy. You've taken the victory in the final race of the season.
Well, thanks very much, and I want to give a shout out to Brad Kress on his championship. By the way, he and I both ran out of fuel at the line on the green-white checkers. That's why I'm sitting in victory lane, not going anywhere.
Yeah, if you hadn't done that extra lap, you could have done some donuts for me at least.
Hey, thanks for a great season, guys, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast. I think we've still got a couple left this season with you.
Yeah, you have as well. Well, Al, well done, buddy. Congratulations. Amazing job.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Right, we better have a chat with our championship winner here as well, one Mr. Brad Kress. Welcome in, Brad. You've taken the victory here in the Gen4s this season, buddy. How do you feel? Brad? Oh. Feels that good. Speechless, Bradley Dalton. Absolutely.
I was going to give him a second to reply. I mean, hey, he just ran a hard race. He's probably up celebrating, if I had to guess.
Hey, you guys got me now?
There we go.
There we go, dude.
Sorry, my mic wasn't working.
Oh, no dramas at all. Congratulations on your Gen4 championship for season 5.
All right, thank you, sir. It was tough. Oh, Cameron didn't make it easy on me.
No, but I do have to point out that the label of Mr. Consistency, winning only 1 race by all accounts, by what we've seen on the scores today, and yet still taking a championship. That's got to be something to wear on your belt with pride.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad the race finished when it did, because I didn't have any idea that I was that low on fuel. And when I took the white flag, I had 1 lap left, and I was sputtering when I came across the line. So I'm glad it finished when it did.
Yeah, I was in the same boat, apparently. He was out of fuel as well. But, how's it? Give us a quick rundown of your season. How would you explain it, the fact that you have taken the championship, but only with 1 victory?
I mean, it's been a blast. I mean, it always is racing with these guys. I love racing in this league. These guys all race hard and clean. So, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I didn't even look at the points until about halfway through the season, and I noticed me and Cameron were pretty close for it. So that's when I really started watching it. And I just knew tonight I had to finish somewhere close to him to have it locked up.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, he was involved in a little bit of a ta-ta-ta on the final lap, mate. He was motoring through, mind you. He had tyres as well, so he was on a full motor through, but unfortunately, he had a little bit of an incident towards the end of the race there as well. But Brad, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to shout out you guys. You all put on an awesome broadcast. I go back and watch them all the time, and I want to give Al a shout out for keeping this league running. And I'm not sure who sponsored the race tonight, but shout out to them too for putting it on, and give a shout out to my aunt who watches these things all the time, and just everybody that keeps this thing going. It's been awesome.
Now, I can tell you it was the driver appreciation, so it come from the admins this evening who sponsored this race, there, buddy.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah,
I appreciate all of them.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, listen, you take care. Have a good one, fella, and congratulations on your season 5 championship.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care. And then, should we have a chat with Mr. Matt Perezzini here? He was in the running for the win towards the end there. He got caught up in an incident with Cameron Kane. Let's bring him into the booth. Matt, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Awful.
Oh, come on. Show us your normal Matt Perezzini love.
No, that was me just way overdriving the car, and I got loose and tagged Cameron into Mark. I apologize. I mean, I owe both of those guys an apology. That was just not acceptable, not good enough. Pretty disappointed in myself after that race.
Yeah, but Matt, listen, dude. Listen, right? Words of wisdom. Accidents happen. When you're racing as competitive as you guys are, you both I think, Matt had tyres as well. So all three of you had tyres racing for the win there. Do you know what I mean? You've had a long season, the final round, adrenaline's high. You know, accidents happen, Matt, and as I know, trust me, as I found out last Thursday, they do happen here as well.
Oh yeah, they happen. It's just I hold myself to a higher standard than that, and I mean, I'm sorry to Cameron and I'm sorry to Mark, because that was just, it was not a pleasant situation. You know, I mean, I was chasing it after the first pit stop because, I mean, I had the pace to keep up with both Sean and Chad, and on the first pit stop, somehow my tires got switched off, so I had to turn them on mid pit stop, so I ended up stuck in the pits for 30 seconds instead of 15, and then after that I was just chasing it the rest of the way, and you know, that caution where I got loose, it was just I had burned the right rear completely off of it, and I could not hold on to it anymore. I was trying to back it up and slow it down, and it finally caught up with me. I mean, yeah, just not a good night for the 24.
Yeah, I know, dude. But listen, I'm sure you have got in and enjoyed the full season here as well. Is there anyone you want to shout out, Matt, before we let you go?
Yeah, I mean, congrats to Al on the win. Well deserved. Congrats to Brad on the championship. He had a heck of a season, and you know, congrats to him on getting that done. And adieu, Gen4. We'll see what happens in season 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Have a good one, fella.
Yeah, thanks, James.
Well, there you go, Brad. Season 5 of the Gen4's all wrapped up as well here. You know, it was a good season overall, right?
Yeah, I think it was a mega season. Even, you know, looking back, and I keep up with this league quite a bit, even when there's not broadcast going on, because these guys are genuine friends and genuinely good people. And you know, they like to give me tips on how to drive in iRacing and how to get faster at iRacing. And, you know, they let us come out and race with them every once in a while. So even keeping up with like off season and off broadcast things, it's been really good. Even when we haven't shown it on screen, it's been very, very good racing. So overall, it's a good way to wrap out Gen 4 with a Al Corey banger of a win. And, you know, to quote Mr. Matt Parasini, I can't wait to see what the next season brings.
Yeah, absolutely. I do fully agree. Well, guys, we're going to want to watch the season finale of the SRX at Hickory on Tuesday. Come and join us for that one as well. But that's going to bring it to the end here. Thank you so much for all of you that have joined us. It's been an exceptional season of the Gen 4s. We look forward to seeing you in season 6. But for now, and as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track next season. Good night.